Howdy folks, I'm Jerky Youngsher, jauntily jumping towards jealous jerks.
I'm Amber.
And here are more jealous jerks for us to jump towards. I guess that's what you gotta do when you're a zombie-ish thing from China.
Yes, they're called like hopping corpses. They're kind of zombie-like, ish. Not exactly, but yeah. They're one of my favorite cryptids.
Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk? Work Attire Mix-Up. So, my girlfriend, a 38-year-old female, works at a middle school. Dress code is pretty standard to most jobs. If anything, give or take some because of the silly dress-up days and the obvious nothing to hide or revealing because of maturing boys and girls. Anyways, I noticed a while back that she would wear sweaters with a bra and no t-shirt underneath. Kinda put me off, but not enough to address it initially. Happened again today, and I reached for her sweater to check if she had a shirt underneath. And sure enough, no shirt. She asked what I was doing, and I just said, seeing if you had a shirt on underneath. She replied, no, I never wear a shirt underneath. This is how I always do it with these sweaters. I said, oh, okay, yeah, I know you usually don't. She could tell that something was up, so she asked, and I said, it does make me feel a little bit, I don't know, like something about that. That is what it says.
That is exactly what it said.
She replied, but I've always worn it this way, and you've never mentioned anything. I said, yeah, I mean, it doesn't sit right, but not enough where I address it, bring it up, or just let it get in the way of a good day. But I really don't care for it. Anyways, I didn't think that either of us are jerks. I wanted to see more or less what other people's opinions on this was. To see if it's completely normal for women or not to do this, if men would be bothered by this or not care. I'm a little confused on how to feel about this, and I just wanted some outside perspective. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you're the jerk. It is very common for people to not wear a shirt under a sweater. A sweater is a complete garment in its own right. When I wear sweaters, I generally don't wear a shirt under them because you don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on like the fabric. Like sometimes people are bothered by the like itchiness of a sweater, but some sweaters are very soft and don't have like an itchy feeling to them too, right? And I think that's part of the reason why people do wear shirts underneath sweaters a lot of times is that it might just be uncomfortable for the sweater feel, but it's a garment in its own respect, right? It's not any different from a t-shirt or any other shirt. Now, maybe an exception to this might be like a cable knit sweater that has like large holes so that you can see underneath of it, like, and where like their bra might be like completely exposed or visible or something like that.
Right, but it sounded like Opie had to lift up her shirt to see
Yeah.
she wasn't wearing a shirt on under. And it's like, if you can't tell, then like without looking, then why is it an issue? Like, what do you think the kids are going to be doing? Like, if they're lifting up her shirt, they're going to the principal's.
Yeah, well, I mean that, right? Or if they're seeing her with their shirt lifted up, then that's probably, there are bigger issues at play here, right? But that doesn't sound like that's the case. It just sounds like this is a weird quirk that OP has. And I would say that if OP wants a little outside perspective, I would say it's perfectly normal to wear a sweater without having a shirt on underneath. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting My Daughter Wear Skirts and Sandals? So I'm a 36-year-old male and I have an 8-year-old daughter. My wife and I don't really do a skirt thing. My wife doesn't wear them and never really has. And I personally just find them kind of weird for kids. They seem impractical, especially when playing outdoors, climbing, riding a bike, or when it's windy. I also honestly think that they're not very hygienic. We have a fabric couch, and she's always sitting cross-legged on it and coming back from school or the park. And I just don't like the idea of her bare skin on the same spot that everyone uses. Plus, kids that age can get yeast infections and other things easily if they're not careful about hygiene. So I've always just bought her pants, shorts, sweatpants, sneakers, and stuff like that. She never seemed to care before, but recently she's been really upset that I won't let her wear skirts and sandals. Apparently her friends all at school wear them, and she wants to as well. I told her that's not a good reason. Just because her friends wear something doesn't mean that she has to. I explained that skirts and sandals are impractical and not comfortable. Sandals don't even give proper support, and they get dirty easily. And I don't like the idea of her toes being exposed when she's running around or playing outside. My wife thinks that I'm overthinking it, but says that she doesn't care enough to argue. Our daughter keeps saying that I'm mean and controlling, but I'm just trying to be sensible. It's not like I'm forcing her to wear something uncomfortable. She has tons of comfy clothes and shoes that are practical and clean, while she claims that none of her clothes are cute and that she looks like the boys. So am I the jerk for not letting my daughter wear skirts or sandals? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, you're the jerk, and your wife is also the jerk for not standing against you. This is absolutely ridiculous. There is nothing unhygienic about wearing skirts. Like, presumably when she's on your couch, she's wearing underwear. If she's not wearing underwear, you might have some other problems, but like,
Well, I mean, just a discussion, right?
yeah. And also, skirts are a thing. Like, just buy her a skirt with built-in shorts.
Or just let her wear a skirt in general. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, I think that she wants to express herself in fashion and you should accommodate that. This isn't an unreasonable request. I mean, I can understand some parents being a little concerned about some outfits and garments, right? And certainly, like, that's a decision that parents have to come to and, understand and have a discussion with their kids. But a skirt is a pretty normal thing for kids to wear, and it doesn't even sound like it just sounds like OP personally has an issue with it.
Well, it does. It does sound like OP's personal issues. And there does seem to be an implication here. Like, I'm wondering if he is kind of sexualizing his daughter. That's kind of the vibe I get from this. Like, he's throwing out these ridiculous things about yeast infections to try and justify things when there's no justification there. Like, his excuses are just so nonsensical.
I actually don't get that vibe. I get this more like he's a clean freak, and that this might even be like a little bit on the side of like, oh, I just don't like the idea of dirty things, like
Well,
the sandals, for instance.
it doesn't
right?
make sense though, because sneakers get just as dirty.
I know, but you don't put sneakers on. Maybe it's just that, like, because the sandals expose her feet, she would take the sandals off and then sit cross-legged on the couch and get the couch dirtier, is what he's saying there.
I mean,
So,
it could be, but like, I don't know. I feel like they are creepy undertones because I don't see why you wouldn't want your daughter wearing a skirt otherwise.
like, she's an 8-year-old. Let the 8-year-old dress in a skirt. Like, it's
Right.
pretty normal for 8-year-old girls to want to dress like their peers, right?
Right.
And this is something that she wants.
But again, if you're worried about the practicality and like riding bikes and stuff, they make like, first of all, they make skirts, so skirts with built-in shorts, but they also make like athletic shorts that she could wear under a skirt very easily. So then that would make it much more practical in your eyes. So
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for pushing back on my sister-in-law for asking me to dress differently because her and my brother-in-law are uncomfortable? 3 months postpartum with baby number 2, and a layer and tank top under my sweater in case I get a hot flash during or after nursing. I get a text from my sister-in-law saying that she and brother-in-law are uncomfortable by my tank tops and would appreciate if I wear things that are more covering. She mentioned that when I bend over, she could see down my chest. I was confused because my sister-in-law nurses without a cover, watches shows with partial nudity, wears a bikini at the beach, etc. I generally don't comment on anyone else's modesty because it's very subjective, but this felt like a double standard. I apologized unintentionally for making them uncomfortable, but then voiced my perspective. She countered by saying that her not using a cover is about feeding her baby, and that the beach is fine because everyone else is doing it, and no comment on shows or movies. She pressed that I can find options that keep me cool that are more covering. I wrote 2 lengthy texts on how I felt that it was a double standard to me, and she said that she didn't want it to be this big of a deal, just wanted to let me know that they were uncomfortable. The conversation did not end with closure. Am I the jerk for not changing my outfits? All right, folks, what do you think?
no, not the jerk. And just tell her that she and her husband are not welcome around you while you're going through this phase. Clearly what's going on is she's upset that her husband can see down OP's shirt, and instead of having a conversation with her husband about not looking down people's shirts, she's on OP's case.
Well, oh, sorry.
Like, the only difference here between her and OP is that she's married to her husband, so she doesn't care if her husband sees her topless.
Well, I mean, I think that might be very well what it boils down to. She's uncomfortable because there's some issue with the husband, looking or staring or leering or whatnot, right? And I think that this is a them problem and that maybe the best solution is not to see them for a little while until like this phase passes or maybe even longer, right? Like this isn't an OP problem. This is a
Mm-hmm.
them problem. And until they can work out that problem, they don't need to be around OP. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My In-Laws that I won't be attending family gatherings anymore as long as they keep pushing me to have a baby? Update to the post. My boyfriend's family, not the in-laws. Sorry for misusing the word. I'm a 32-year-old female, and I'm together with my boyfriend, a 34-year-old male, for 2 years now, living together for 1 year. When we started dating, we discussed the important life decisions to make sure that we had the same vision for our future. Staying child-free was the main thing that we both agreed on immediately, simply because we have our personal reasons for it due to situations that we've seen previous relationships and with family and friends. It's not that we hate kids, we love all the children around us and act like the fun aunt and uncle. We just don't feel like we're missing out on something and completely happy with our lives. I'm an only child, and my mother totally respects my choice for staying child-free, although she would love to become a grandmother. My boyfriend's family, on the other hand, are not as understanding. My boyfriend has a brother and a sister. His brother already has a son who's 7 and won't be having a second. His sister is thriving in her single era and isn't planning on having any children in the near future. But his parents clearly want more grandchildren. Every family gathering since the day that I met his parents, the topic of us having children is being brought up. I was very honest with them from the beginning, and I told them respectfully that I don't see myself becoming a mother, and my boyfriend has always backed me up by telling them that he feels the same way about me and us having children. And then they always try to change our minds, asking why not, although we already explained. And then they state that having a baby together is the most beautiful act of love, and many other things that I don't agree with personally. With all the respect for people who do choose to have babies, there once even was a comment of his mother saying that I made him change his mind because he always said that he wanted children before he met me. But I know his reasons, and they have nothing to do with my opinions on it. I always bit my tongue and I tried to change the subject, but they still don't seem to get it. So last time we all got together, it started with a fun evening, with laughs and updating on our lives until the question popped again. I was so sick of having this discussion over and over and over again that I just stood up and I said, I'm not having this conversation anymore. And as long as you keep bringing the subject up, I will not be attending these family gatherings anymore. And asking my boyfriend if we could leave. He immediately agreed, and before anyone had a chance to say something, he simply said to his family to stop pushing the baby fever on me and grabbed our coats. His dad stood up and tried to stop us from leaving, and his mother started crying. His sister was too shocked to say anything, and after we came home, he received a call from his brother saying that we were wrong for leaving and threatening not to come over anymore anytime soon if things don't change. Also, they all thought that I made the statement for both of us, but I made it very clear to my boyfriend that he can go whenever he likes, that this is his decision, and I made my decision for myself only. My boyfriend is now receiving messages from the family telling him that he needs to rethink his life choices because I will ruin his life. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, why would you want to hang around with people who are trying to pressure you into doing something that you know is not right for you and your life? And I'm glad your boyfriend is backing you up, but he really should be taking the lead on this because it's his family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this kind of sets OP up as the villain, and they're able to be like, oh, well, she's the problem. We just need to get rid of her, and everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that OP's partner needs to make it very clear that he's not having children no matter what in the future, right? But I think like maybe they think if they can get OP out of the picture, then if he finds the right girl, then he'll change his mind or something like that, right?
Well, that's it exactly. And that's why I think he needs to be the one who is taking the lead and telling his family that this is my decision. Personally, I don't want to have kids, and you need to lay off OP.
I mean, he should just tell them that he got a like vasectomy or something like that on his own, And then that way they stop because they'll be like, oh, I guess he's really serious about that. Even if he doesn't, then at least like saying it will make them hopefully get off of their cases.
No, they'll just start hounding him to reverse it, and like everything's still gonna be about their reproductive lives. Like,
Yeah.
they just need to butt out. And I think this is the perfect approach: is anytime they bring up this subject, just leave.
Yeah.
Do not subject yourself to this constant torment.
Yeah. Well, and it's just not a fair conversation. Like OP's already told them. Like OP can say, well, if we ever change our minds, you'll be the first ones to know, but please stop asking, right? And at that point in time, they should just stop and wait if they want to change their minds, right? Which it doesn't sound like they're going to. There was also that one story that we read like years ago where the person had like a baby tip jar. So every single time someone brought up babies, they would tell people to put $1 or something like that.
Oh, I love that.
So maybe that's what OP should do too here, is be like, oh, sorry, you mentioned baby, put $1 in the baby jar and use it for a vacation to get away from them.
Yes.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
What did the tortilla chips say when their partner tried to intervene in a fight?
They said, we're not really fighting. We're just being corny.
It's nacho problem.
Ah.
And it's National Nacho Day.
So go find yourself some nachos with some of that fake Velveeta cheesy type stuff.
I want to go to Circle K right now.
And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and our guidance, and please have it a hodgepodge for Hodgepodge Thursday.
Don't control people's clothes or their life choices.
I like it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.